Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm kind of dating the video by saying this and doing Christmas music in the videos, but I don't really care. It's the off season here for the Seahawks. We lost in the NFC Championship game to the Green Bay Packers, the eventual Super Bowl champions. So, looking at these coaches that got fired on this sort of screen, um, looks like the Jets have already hired their new head coach. I really do miss the head coaching carousel from NCAA. I hope that gets added into Madden games soon enough. But take a look at these stats. And Nate English, we've looked at his stats a bajillion times because of the intros in the games where it just shows his stats. So he had an amazing season: 52 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 4,627 yards, 61% for his completion percentage. Take a look at rushing. Kenneth Walker, he was the bell cow for us. 325 carries, 1,373 yards, 8 rushing touchdowns. Nate English had the lone other rushing touchdown. I could have swore we got Devontae Hunter a rushing touchdown, but that might have been in the playoffs, so that doesn't track. But I could have swore we got someone else a rushing touchdown, but apparently we did not. So maybe that's something we have to change next year. Try to get a different running back look potentially. DK Metcalf, 76 receptions, 1,566 yards, but 28 touchdown receptions on the season. And you see the receiving touchdowns, they really didn't get spread around too much, but when you have DK Metcalf and you have Terrell Jones doing what they did all year, he had 14 touchdown receptions, 1,222 yards, and you see Dwayne Eskridge with 7 receiving touchdowns, Noah Fant with only 2 receiving touchdowns, and Will Dissly with 1 touchdown on the year. So, yeah, but Terrell Jones led us in receptions. And, DK Metcalf was 76, Noah Fant was 75, Eskridge was 51, Kenneth Walker 29. And then it doesn't really get a lot from there. We really didn't spread the ball around. We didn't get a lot of guys involved. And that's just how it is sometimes. You're just not going to get everyone involved. I think when you have such good players like Terrell Jones and DK Metcalf, it's going to be like kind of like, hey, whoever else can get the ball can get the ball. That's just how it goes. Not too many sacks allowed. We didn't. Granted, I don't think this tracks accurately personally, but it says those guys only gave up that many sacks, but I kind of doubt it. So we take a look here at our defensive stats on the season, and solo tackles, Cody Barton led the way for us. And we're just going to kind of get through these kind of quickly. I don't know if you guys care about tackle stats all that much, but yeah, I mean, some of these guys had some of the backup seasons worth tackles in that NFC Championship game. But Jordan Brooks there, 121. Quandre Diggs with 85. I kind of don't like the idea of having our DBs having that high of tackles, but tackles for loss, pretty good numbers here. I would think Hayden Peterson, once again, he didn't play the full season. Came in kind of late. Take a look here at sacks, and Uchenna Nwosu, 24.5 sacks. Marco Estes, 14 sacks, and Hayden Peterson, a half, which means he probably got robbed. I could have swore we had a game where it got credited for half, but he really had the full one. So, yeah. Carl Basham Jr. for us comes in and just plugs in and gets 7 sacks. That's awesome. Sean Murphy-Bunting, 10 interceptions on the year. Tariq Woolen with 6. Quandre Diggs with 6. Jordan Brooks with 5. Jamal Adams with 2. And then a couple guys here coming in and getting 1 interception each. Calvin Lewis with an interception. So some nice interceptions. We're able to really turn the ball over. Take a look here at forced fumbles, I believe, or catches allowed. No one allowed a catch, so we're great on that, I guess. I would say not too many. I don't know if this is like a good amount of fumbles. I feel like there's times where we should have gotten more fumbles, but like the way Madden is now, it's kind of hard to force fumbles for some reason. Fumble recoveries, we were able to recover some fumbles, and yeah, we got no safety. We got 1 safety on the year, and we got a couple touchdowns here. So, all in all, I think our defensive unit played pretty well this season, stayed relatively healthy for most of the season, and I think that's kind of why these guys put up such good numbers. So now we move on here to retirement, and We don't have too many older players. We do have some older players in our team, of course, but not a whole lot. You see Ryan Tannehill retires, but Al Woods calls it a career. I figured he would retire. A little disappointed with that, but that does. Tom Brady finally retires, and so does Trent Williams. With Al Woods retiring, we do have a hole sort of at defensive tackle. I don't use like a traditional nose tackle too much, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to sort of just replace that. We might just replace that via free agency. Shouldn't be too hard to find someone relatively cheap to replace him. So that was the only retirement for us, so that's not too bad. Means we don't necessarily have like a super old roster. So we look through here and we come to our resigning players. Devontae Hunter, free agent. I believe he was a street free agent, undrafted rookie that we picked up. So we're just going to offer him, kind of a 2-year deal here. And yeah, he accepts it. Bring him back. I liked him in that Deebo Samuel package, but we take a look at everyone else here. And we're just not interested in really bringing anyone else here back. John Feliciano, we did offer him a contract. He turned it down. Our backup center, we'll come back to him probably in actual free agency. But Jason Myers, wanted to look at his ratings, and looks like he's starting to lose kick power, starting to lose accuracy. So that made it very easy to just sort of move on from him. Not going to bring Jason Myers back or Darrell Taylor. Those guys are just not going to be back on this team. So we come in here to free agency, but we do have combine results to get to, actually. And one of my complaints about Madden 23 this year is just sort of scouting and just how like removed you are from the process. And so I just didn't spend a lot of time. Like, I know some people can really get into this stuff and really look at these players and break all this stuff down. I kind of like, I'll set it and sort of like the way I think it is now. It's sort of set it, forget it, and then come look at it, drafts when it's time to start going through the prospects. Then you can come look at it. So Mike Killings, he looks like a really good athlete. Looks like a really good man coverage guy. Looks like he's going to struggle in zone coverage. I kind of call a lot of zone, but I mix up my coverages, sort of just how I need to. But more for now, I kind of just play zone, try to create pressure, and hope we can create turnovers that way. I don't like manning up too much, honestly. So, but we won't man up when we do too. Devlin Harvey looks like he has elite jumping, 4.37 on the 40. Looks interesting, but I don't know if corner is necessarily a need for us. We might want to just spend a free agency for a corner, honestly. Although that might sound weird, you want to spend money, but I'd rather get something that's a little more developed, a little more polished, as opposed to sort of getting just a brick of clay and then having to mold it. That's what I'd rather do. Zach Dean, right end. We still need a little bit of depth on our defensive line. Want to get better at it. He has elite strength and block shedding. If that's an A to C, A to C, A to C. I don't mind seeing A to C because at worst it could be C, which isn't bad, but I mean, I think just the risk of, as long as it's not like A to F or A to D or anything, I don't know if you get those sorts of ranges. But Zach Dean looks pretty good. And then another middle linebacker, Matthias Polk out of California. And he looks like an absolute freak. 4.46 40, 32 reps, 36-inch vertical, 10-inch broad jump. Cone drill looked good, 7 seconds. 20-yard shuttle is 4.440. Elite strength, elite speed, elite jumping, elite agility, good change of direction, and good acceleration. He looks like an amazing athlete, and we see a lot of A to C here. That's great. I personally think, and he's projected to go like in the 3rd or 4th round. Usually I draft guys who have that projection. I'll grab them in the 2nd if I like their physicals enough, and their his core attributes look good. A, block shedding, which I really like. B, zone coverage. A, hit power. So you get those 3, and those look really good to me. So yeah, he's on our board for sure. So free agency, Nick Bosa is a free agent, and he has some interest in us. And Justin Herbert is a free agent. I forgot to go into the Chargers and make sure that Justin Herbert wouldn't hit the free agent market, but he did. So that's my bad, guys. But Nick Bosa here, free agent, number 1 free agent in the class here. And yeah, I would like to have Nick Bosa on our team. Look through here, some interesting receivers if we wanted a receiver. You know, Jeremy Chin right there. If we really wanted to, we could speed up the process and sort of make a change in our strong safety position a year sooner and just spend some money and bring in Jeremy Chin. Derek Brown is here. We don't necessarily need help at defensive tackle. I mean, we could just sign Derek Brown, put him at right end, and call it a day. Darnell Savage, a little bit younger than Jamal Adams, but and then Bryce Hall here. Bryce Hall is interesting because he's really interested in us, and I'm kind of the same way here. Jalen Johnson maybe could have went after him, but Bryce Hall, I think, kind of fits what we want. His press rating is really good at 91. Man is at an 81. Zone coverage is at 80. I believe that's play rec at an 85. So we take a look at all those ratings. They look pretty good. And Bryce Hall, we're going to make a 4-year offer to him. Just simply because he's going to come in and he's going to be our slot corner. Tariq Woolen and Sean Murphy-Bunting on the outside. Bryce Hall in the slot. I think that'll be a really good deal. So Nick Bosa, we're going to go 5 years on this. $72 million. 5 years, $72 million. We'll see if that's enough to get him. Not only are we helping ourselves get another elite edge rusher on the team, we are hurting a divisional opponent in the 49ers because now the 49ers don't have him, so I don't have to deal with being chased around by Nick Bosa twice a year. And we get Bryce Hall, so he agrees to our deal. So Nick Bosa, do we really want him here? Because this would put a big dent in the 49ers' plans, I think, and we get him. You see that big spender, Nick Bosa. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the Seahawks. And that is amazing. So now we have Nick Bosa, an emerging Uchenna Nwosu now for our edge players right there. And this is going to be just nasty here. Sending these guys after teams, after opposing quarterbacks every single week is just going to be awesome. We have Nwosu really locked in for 5 years on a pretty team-friendly deal. And Nick Bosa, acquiring him 5 years, right in his prime. And yeah, he heads up north to Washington. And yeah, sorry, 49ers fans. I'm sure 49ers fans don't like looking at that site. I know he wears 97. Poona Ford has that. Maybe we'll change that. Maybe Poona Ford will sell Nick the number for some cash on that new contract he has. But Nick Bosa is going to be a member of the Seattle Seahawks next season. That's a massive signing for us. And Bryce Hall, he's going to slot in the slot. I think it'd be a good spot for him here. And yeah, I think that's just, and we still have enough money to, and this is why it's so important to hit on your rookie quarterbacks. That's why you're seeing the Jets sort of freak out a little bit more, because they have a team that can compete. You don't have the quarterback on the rookie deal that you want to have. And when you have a quarterback on a rookie deal, you can do this. You can go out and spend in free agency and get Nick Bosa and get Bryce Hall, pay a little bit extra money to bring back a backup center, right? You can sort of spend money on those sorts of things. Want to have a backup guard here. We're looking around, guys might get hurt. You never know when someone's going to get hurt. That's why I'm not too keen on moving Abraham Lucas. He's still decently rated, so if we need him to play in a pinch at tackle, we can do that. We might need someone to play in a pinch at guard. So Brian Winters, we're going to try to sign him. Still need some help along the defensive line. And so we're looking around here, sort of trying to find some guys that could, we don't want to pay our backups a little too much money, but just sort of in that price range, that sweet spot. That sort of just fits with us, and also has a decent enough block shed rating as well. That's sort of what I'm looking for. Once again, I've said that's a very important rating to me, and also just saving some cash. And Jordan Phillips, you know, we're not going to offer him exactly what he wants, or do we? I do offer him. I completely cut off my own argument there. We did offer him exactly what he wants, a 1-year deal. So we come here, look for another end, and you have to pay close attention to this because some of these guys are 4-3 ends, which means they're edge rushers. And if I were to sign them, I'd have to change their position to outside linebacker. Armon Watts, he looks like a straight up just a guy. That's a guy that's going to play with his hand in the dirt on the defensive line. And has an 82 tackle rating, block shed rating at a 73, power moves as an 81. So looks pretty good actually here. So we're going to try to get Armon Watts here. And it's going to be Armon Watts who's not going to get offered exactly what he wants. So gonna try to bring in Armon Watts and sort of just beef up the defensive line. And Phillips does sign with us. Feliciano comes back, and we get Brian Winters. Armon Watts does eventually agree to us as we go throughout the pre-draft process. So we do get Armon Watts as well in that 1-year deal. Take a look here at the mock draft, and just looking through here, and Zach Dean is who we are projected to take with the number 29 pick in the NFL draft. Yeah, not considering a running back at all. The Packers, they can take whoever they want. They won the Super Bowl. So Zach Dean out of Georgia. Here is his pro day. Ran a little bit quicker. Still had the same reps. And did a little bit better on his broad jump. Did a little bit better in his 2-cone or 3-cone, whatever that says. I can't exactly tell because on my screen the text that's small is really blurry. Sorry about that. I should get a new monitor. But we come back here, mock draft number 5. You see quarterback starting to sort of slot in where they're going to go. The Broncos going quarterback, so things must not be working out great with Russell Wilson. Just looking through here. And who are we projected to take in this one? And it's Zach Dean again. So they keep mocking Zach Dean to us. The Packers potentially taking a free safety. They probably need one. Darnell Savage, I'm pretty sure, actually left in free agency. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Zach Dean sort of keeps getting mocked to us. And so we have some private workouts that we can schedule here. 3 players to choose from. So we're going to go right to our favorites. Delvin Harvey is already sort of accounted for, 100% completion on him. When I set out at the beginning of the season, I thought we were going to really look at cornerback for this upcoming draft, but we're kind of fine at cornerback. We don't really need to go out and get anyone else. So we're just looking around here. What can we always use just a spare player for? And potentially tight end. And so I see a catch and rating, or catch in traffic rating for Troy Cohen. We decided to take a look at him. He has a catch in traffic. He has decent measurables for his physicals. So we take a look at his core attributes potentially here. And A, break tackle, A, awareness, A, catch in traffic, B, run block, B, short route. And everything else is like A to C, which at worst is at C. So looks like an intriguing prospect that we kind of just stumbled upon here. We'll see what he looks like when we eventually get all of that. So take a look here. Rashawn Gary goes to the Cardinals. So one pass rusher gets the hell out of our way, and then another one comes in that we have to see twice a year. Justin Herbert goes to the Panthers. Darius Slay goes back to Detroit. Devin White goes to Detroit. Cam Akers goes there. Jason Kelsey, Bobby Wagner goes to the Buccaneers. T. Higgins, so Mike Evans and T. Higgins in Houston. That's insane. Jalen Johnson goes to the Detroit Lions. Jeremy Chin goes to the Steelers. Brendan Ayuk stays there. Jedrick Wills. Bad offseason for the Buccaneers. So Derek Brown, Bryce Hall, of course. Darnell Savage goes to the Chiefs. Mekhi Becton there. And Jordan Poyer goes to the Panthers. Jordan Fuller. Isaiah Simmons goes to the... Hey, get Isaiah Simmons the hell. I threw a bunch of interceptions, and he's forced some fumbles against us before, so I am not going to miss Isaiah Simmons. Please, go terrorize Patrick Mahomes and Derek Carr. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Good riddance to him, in my opinion. So, Jonathan Grenard, goes to the Commanders. Almost said the other team name. So, Troy Cohen looks interesting. D to F spectacular catch is not great. But A to B trucking, that's interesting. So this is him 90% scouted. So kind of A to B carrying. You see C deep route, B impact blocking. Medium route is an A. So it looks like a pretty good route runner for us. Didn't scout the other guys for some reason. I'm not sure why. Does it only do one? So draft day, and we're going to simulate here a little bit. Kelvin Keenan goes number 1 overall, defensive lineman. Larry Armstead goes number 2 overall to the Jags. Marcel Thomas goes number 3 overall, so he must be really good. And Jaleel Ramsey goes to the Broncos. So things must not be working out great with Russell Wilson. The Vikings, looks like they're prepared to move on from Kirk Cousins. They take Will Monroe out of Texas Tech. And the Lions grab another defender. And the Jets grab another edge guy out of Oregon State. And then another defensive tackle here for the Saints. Carmelo Bennett for the Texans. And Mitch Zimmerman. So just want to look at the first 10 picks there before we get to our pick. And going to simulate all the way here to ours at number 29. And... not too many. There's not. This isn't really a hard decision for us, and it's going to be Zach Dean here. I think just makes the most sense. Clearly has been mocked to us, but that's not the only reason why I'm interested in him. Looks like he has good power moves, elite strength. So he has good strength to go along with those power moves, actually. So he has not only the physicals, but the skills to back it up. Would have liked to get more information on him after we had the private workouts, but it just stayed at 50%. I'm not sure what that's about. So we're going to draft him. He has good hit power, apparently, and hidden dev there. So 92 strength, 79 speed, 83 acceleration, 72 agility, not great change of direction, not great jumping, but he's a defensive lineman. He's 314 pounds. I'm not asking him to do that sort of stuff, so... This is like a really good draft pick for us. So we're going to get into our second round pick. Mike Killings comes off the board right before we can even get a chance to potentially draft him. A little disappointing, but that kind of just forces us here to go with Matthias Polk here. Linebacker out of Cal. Once again, great physicals. Ran a little bit faster on his college pro day. Little bit better vertical jump on his pro day. So cone drill was a little bit better on his pro day, and his 20-yard shuttle was a little bit better on his pro day as well. Just a great physical player. Looks like physical freak. Only having 50% scouted. Would have liked those to. I don't know if the private workouts only does one player. I don't know, but yeah. And he's hidden dev in 92 speed, 88 jumping, 87 strength, 86 agility, 89 acceleration, 77 change of direction, and he has hidden dev. So this is a nasty player, 6'4", 225. He looks like an absolute beast. Bobby Wagner 2.0, I don't know, but we're going to make another move here. Or not another, we're going to make our first move of the draft. We're just going to get the guys that we like. I think we're just deciding, you know what, we're going to get who we like and just call it a night, really. Call it a draft. So we're going to go to the Bills, offer that we want their pick, and we want their second round pick. And we're going to go in here, and we're going to give them a third, and then we're going to try these. We have a bunch of fourth round picks. I'm not sure where I got these from. But we submit this offer, trade decline. They said, you're going to need a little bit more than that. So 3 and I'm trying to give them our worst 4s. So we say, hey, do you want these? And they say, no, we're just right there. So I say, you know what, fine. You know what, you can have our second best fourth and then our third best fourth round pick. Is that enough for you? Pick 115, 117. And they accept, because they are moving down a lot. And we're coming up here a decent bit here, honestly. 2 3s and 2 4s. Or 3 and 2 4s. That probably wouldn't be enough, honestly, to move up. You'd probably want an extra 3 from next year's draft to kind of move up that much, but the tight end, Troy Cohen, we don't need tight end. We have a bunch of tight ends, but I'm intrigued by him, and it works out well because hidden dev, 86 acceleration, 81 change of direction, 86 speed. So 6'5", out of Oregon State, had good route running, so that's a good pick, I think. So right now we're 3 for 3 in getting hidden dev players, so this is a great draft. So we're going to make another selection here. And once again, at this point, I'm like, our roster's kind of filled, honestly. We're good at linebacker. We're good at outside linebacker. We're good at defensive tackle. We're good at corner. Could use a safety, but there's just not really that many interesting safety prospects left on the board at this point for us to kind of look at. All the good safeties have kind of already been taken. Wasn't a very impressive safety class. If you weren't taking a safety in that first round, you probably didn't get a good one. Probably didn't get that great of one if you're taking anyone later. We need a kicker. I completely forgot that I did not bring back our kicker, Jason Myers. So we kind of need another kicker. So I'm looking through here. Johnny Campbell. I don't know how to like scout kickers, honestly, because you just like get their kick accuracy. I'm looking through here. Loris Hankey, and then I see Skylar Wiener. And I just wanted to have a player named Wiener. He rises to the occasion on big moments. He has good physicals for a kicker. His kick power is elite. And change of direction is elite as well, which is very important for a kicker. I'm saying important. It's very important for a kicker to have good change of direction and kick power. And his kick accuracy is at an A as well. I'm all in on Wiener here. Big fan of Wiener. Skylar Wiener is our guy, I think, for kicking, and we get a hidden dev kicker. That's our draft, essentially, right there, folks. That's our draft. 99 kick power. Yeah, that's our draft. We get a big, powerful Wiener here to come in for us and kick a bunch of field goals. 99 kick power. I can't wait to play around with that. We're looking around here at the end of the draft. Do we want another backup guard? Just kind of didn't really like the physicals, honestly. Drew Patterson, just not really feeling it at this point. Looking around, and we decided I need a backup quarterback. We didn't bring back Andy Dalton, so we'll just take one here. And Quan Boner. We take Wiener, and then we take a Boner. That's how it goes here, folks. Looks like he has good throw power, great throw power, so could probably run our system just fine of chucking the ball up deep and things like that, getting it out quick. But Quan Boner looks good. Normal dev, which is fine. He's a backup quarterback, but yeah, 92 throw power, 79 speed, 85 acceleration, 6'3", 228 pounds, out of South Alabama. Looks like a decent quarterback. So draft recap here for us, and Zach Dean, the Dean of Maine, Zach Dean, out of Georgia, 21 years old, big man, and hidden dev player. Take a look at his ratings here, and 74 power moves, 59 finesse moves, which is fine. In terms of, I'm not going to be trying to do a lot of spin moves with this guy, but we can build those up for sure. But 79 speed, 96 strength, block shedding, that's the rating that I really care about. That looks really good. That should help us in the run game, and he fits our scheme, so very good. Matthias Polk, and out of Cal. I don't know, the players like this sort of guy, this good, this athletic, end up at Cal. You'd almost think this guy should have went to like Alabama or something. But 92 speed, 77 block shedding, 90 hit power. I can't wait to sort of see this guy playing for us. And then Troy Cohen, rookie guy. He is a rookie because we just drafted him, but 86 speed is pretty good actually. And his deep route running isn't good. Short route running, kind of a project player. Probably isn't going to get a lot of snaps his rookie year. Change of direction looks good. His carrying looks pretty good. Break tackle's okay. Spectacular catches okay. Don't count on seeing a lot of Troy Cohen his rookie year, but maybe next season we might see more Troy Cohen. Skylar Wiener. And 99 kick power. I believe that is an 81 kick accuracy. So I cannot wait to start kicking with this guy. Some of these other ratings are not great, but the kick power and kick accuracy ratings are just good enough for us. And he has hidden dev. I've never played with a kicker that has like superstar abilities or anything like that. So I'll be interested to sort of see what those abilities are, sort of what they do. Quan Boner, 92 throw power, 77 medium accuracy, 84 short accuracy, 73 deep accuracy. His numbers actually look pretty good. 92 or 99 injury, 93 stamina. I'm pretty interested to sort of see what he can do for us, honestly, if he ever has to play. But I don't think quarterbacks get injured in Madden. I don't think that's something that can happen. So Jaleel Ramsey out of Marshall, quarterback now for the Broncos. Reminded me of Taquan Layton that Mr. Hurricane drafted in that Broncos franchise he had all those years ago. Will Monroe, quarterback out of Texas Tech. The Vikings go with a big arm quarterback from Texas Tech. And a 94 throw power. He looks like he has really good accuracy ratings, good awareness. Throwing the run looks good. Under pressure looks good. Looks really good, honestly. So maybe he'll work out for the Vikings. Take a look here at this other first-round quarterback here. Always interested in the quarterbacks and sort of what they look like. Seth Ellsworth goes a little bit later. But honestly, looking at his stats, 93 throw power, 81 deep accuracy. This is the quarterback I probably would end up taking. Deep accuracy looks really good. So does the medium accuracy for him. Good acceleration, good speed. Break sack looks pretty good. Throw under pressure at his 75, a little low, but he should develop, and he has hidden dev. So the Commanders did pretty good. Maybe they finally got their guy. Take a look here. Player we missed out on one pick here. I'm not too mad about it because Matthias Polk looks really good, but Mike Killings, I don't know if I would have for sure taken him, but there's a good chance we would have, and then took Polk in the third round properly. 93 speed, 75 man coverage. Zone coverage isn't that good. Play rec isn't that good. Press is okay, but it's just like speed, athleticism is where this guy shines. And he has that sort of for days, and some cool mutton chops as well. So not too upset about missing out on him. Take a look here at the team right now. Offensive line pretty much set where it was last season. Same as it was last season. So yeah, tight end room, a little crowded now with Cohen there. So someone's probably going to get cut here. Not going to be Courtney Rice, but might be Will Disley. He might be a casualty of the fact that I do want to keep Cohen around. Take a look here at this defensive line unit. Looks really good here with Zach Dean. And Poona Ford is probably going to end up going to the bench. Hayden Peterson, he had such a good year. It'd feel wrong to sort of not have Hayden Peterson starting for us along the D-line. But if you remember last season, we did have Hayden Peterson, and he's played off the edge for us a little bit. Not going to be the case this year. We don't really need him playing off of that. We would have him sort of play opposite of Nwosu. That's not going to be needed this season. We have Nick Bosa. Matthias Polk, MLB 3 right now currently. He's probably going to be our sub linebacker just because of the speed he has. He's going to have the ability to cover guys. Just with the speed, just with that hit power, that's always going to be... He's always going to have the ability to make a play and the jumping and everything like that. So take a look here at some free agents. A.J. Dillon is an interesting power back for us. I might want to bring him in. Not 100% sure just yet. Still some good receivers on the board. Do we kind of want to maybe go over the top and sort of upgrade at that wide receiver 3 position? Curtis Samuel's there, so's DJ Chark. So there's some interesting playmakers there. KJ Hamler is a free agent. So, sort of that bottom end receiver room. Do we want to sort of maybe make an upgrade there? Amari Rodgers, he's been here. We signed him originally, I believe, in the first season, and then he didn't do much last year. So just sort of he's not really that fast. So that's sort of his issue. You see our crowded tight end room. We have a bunch of these guys, so someone's going to have to go. So that's the off season. I think we made this team a lot better. Might not look like it on paper, but I think we did actually make this team a whole heck of a lot better. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Be sure to hit like, be sure to hit subscribe, and I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. At the start of this week, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get any videos out, and then I've sort of pumped out a few here at the end of the week. So want to thank you guys for watching. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.